that it's still less than what it would cost us to do the adjusted alternative E. So I think that was it. Is there anything more on that, Jesse? Nope. So I don't know. Does any other board member have anything?
I would just like to make clear that this is for future use too, and we can build onto it.
Right. Right. Hey, Kyle, did you have anything?
No, I think you did a good job. You know, the only thing I might add on, just so, you know, the rest of the district understands, the district did apply for Army Corps funding to help try to get some more grant dollars. So hopefully, hopefully we'll find out here shortly if they're on the list for future funding. That could be up to $500,000 in grant dollars, which would be a big deal. And we are still looking for other funding opportunities to try to reduce these costs. And then going back to the O&M, Larry, you know, something too, I think our estimate there on the O&M is probably a little conservative, because now all of a sudden we're decommissioning that existing booster station and we're adding in a new one. And that existing, or that new booster station that we're adding, is going to be right next to the Cape Horn booster station. So there might actually, it could be very well, that could be a high estimate on that. So it can come down a little bit, in my opinion. That's what we hope for. But yeah.
Well, it's always better to be conservative. That way, when the costs come in better, then we feel better about it.
Absolutely.
Pauline, would you give us a report on how you're doing with the leases and so forth? You've done an awful lot of work on those.
Well, you know, I'm glad you asked, because actually I got an email today. We've had to deal with the Navy, a whole bunch of people over on the coast, and they asked me, excuse me, for the address to mail the document to be recorded. So that is a big thing. We completed the portion on the parks easements probably 6 weeks ago. So that is all in place. We only have one existing element of that actually came up kind of in the middle of it that we weren't aware of before, is that DEQ wants a 50-foot setback radius around the wells. And I talked to Kyle's engineer yesterday. He's going to be completing the survey for us to get that done. So everything on the easements that is required by IDEQ to do the project will be taken care of.
And the Navy is a 50-year lease.
There's no leases. They're all easements. There never were any leases. They were all easements. And yes, they actually have, they just extended the existing easement for 50 years. So it'll probably be 54 years.
That's great.
From now.
Great job.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, do we have any other board members that wanted to say something or add something to the presentation?
Nope, you did a great job, Larry and Ted.
Yep, very good.
All right, I'm going to go through our public comments here. I'm going to go ahead and unmute my first person on the list here, which is Cheryl Puckett. And I'm going to ask, do you have any public comments or questions that you would like to present at this meeting?
Yes. Great job. Really good presentation tonight. It was very clear and concise. And it's nice after all these years to see the board being so cohesive and moving in this direction. It's really, it's about time. I waited a long time. My question, I have one question. The $32,000 that you said you spent, how come that didn't come out of that $8 fund? That's my question.
Well,
It came out of our
O&M.
cash flows, didn't it?
It just came out of our O and M.
Yeah, it came out of our general operations and maintenance.
But how come you didn't use? Yeah.
Can I, Cheryl, what I want to clarify here is that will not be financed, okay? It was done, I think we did a lot of it before the bond was even passed. So it was paid out of our O and M, and it turned out to be a good thing because these costs on alternative F, when we finally had to get the portions of the project that were left out, anything that we could not finance is going to keep the payments in line.
True. Those costs were incurred before the loan agreement was signed, so therefore they're not reimbursable. But the good news about that is that that is a portion of funds that does not increase the user fees. So we don't accrue interest on it. Those things that we did piece by piece. So
Okay.
it's good.
Thank you.
Anything else?
All right, Cheryl, if you don't have anything else, if you change your mind, go ahead and give me a message or raise your hand or something like that, and I'll come back to you. I'm going to go on to Joe and Sharon. I'm going to click and ask to unmute and then ask you if you have any comments or questions that you would like to ask.
No, I don't think we have anything at this time. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
All right, and then I'm going to go on to Burl Lore. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. I just clicked to ask to unmute and wanted to know if you had any comments or questions.
No comments at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Chris Hansen, thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate everyone's presence. Did you have any comments or questions that you would like to present with the board?
Yep, unmute.
Yeah, I asked. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I asked to unmute, so it's up to him now.
Okay, no comments at this time. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you so much, Chris. You have a great night.
Thank you.
Rosemary Brennan, thank you so much for joining us. Did you have any comments or questions?
I just want to say thank you. I am so happy to be working with a board that we're all communicating and we all know what's happening. I just appreciate you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that comment.
Randy, I do not have your last name, but did you have a comment or question that you would like to ask? If so, can you please present your first and last name?
I think he needs to be on mute.
I know. The only thing I can do is ask him to unmute, and then if he wants to unmute after that, it's up to him. So if he's having any troubles or something, I'll go ahead and come back to you just to make sure that you get the chance to be heard. If you have any questions or comments, you can chat me, or if you find the unmute, then you can go ahead, and I'll see if you unmute. So I'll come back to you if need be. The last one is going to be Holly Jane. I just clicked to go ahead and ask you to unmute. And do you have any comments or questions that you would like to present?
I don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Faye had some.
Oh, good.
I just wondered if it would be appropriate if Ally spoke to the fact that there will be a part-time person in the office to help Jesse during this heavy load time. Is that?
I can speak to it. We're interviewing at the time, and hopefully by this week we'll have someone in place, and and we're really excited about it. Did you want to know anything else, Faye?
No, I just wondered if people might be aware that there will be another person to help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think if we get another person on board, we should do what has always been done and introduce them on our website. I know that when I first came on, there was a little introductory page, and then when Bob came on, there was an introductory page. So I think that would be a good thing to put up too. Make sure that the community sees their face and welcomes them in.
Yeah, you betcha. So hopefully by this week, we'll have someone in place if it works out. If not, if you know of anybody who's looking for part-time work, just go on the website, look at the qualifications and the job description, and if they fit those requirements, to definitely send in your resume and fill out an application. We'd love to talk to you.
All right. It looks like the one person I was going to come back to see if they were having problems with their computer went ahead and signed off, so there's no circling back to him. Yeah, I think that concludes our meeting for the evening, and if the board wants to say anything or anyone else has an additional question or anything like that, now would be a great time.
Can you hear me,
Any
Jesse?
of you that see any one of us on the street and or any place and have questions, just feel free to ask. I mean, we're trying to be as open as possible, and we want you to be involved.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And thanks, Larry and Kyle and Ted, for doing this presentation. It was really concise and very easy to understand. So I appreciate that.
Good job.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that concludes our public hearing. Thank you, Kyle, for joining.